Well, howdy, howdy, Red Dirt Preacher, also known as Laney. Y'all get in here. We'll get closer. Let's get closer. Welcome into the porch, Christ Conscious Global Church. And today I want to tell you a short message. We're going to do this all day long. It's called Spiritual Tour Storytelling, and I use my own damn life to do it. So, be naked. Be the church. My little son is, he's 8 years old, almost 9. And he caught me at midnight in the hall last night because he had his iPod up after dark, and he ran across a story that bothered him, so he come down the hallway to catch me. And he starts to tell me about the story he saw was about a teenager who had lost their parents, both of their parents. And how he read that story or seen it on YouTube, regardless, the communication that he brought to me in the hallway was, hey, I saw a story where a person lost both their parents and was very, very sad and said that they couldn't continue with their life or didn't want to. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a really sad story. Where were you? Whattheheck.com? And regardless, my son said, if that happened to me, I could understand that. I really wouldn't want to be alive no more either. I stopped my son, and then at that time bit down to his level, and I reminded my son of my own story. I said, honey, my parents, they're not here. They're gone. They're dead. My parents are actually alive. It's just they're not in our lives. Completely not in our lives. Frequency fallout. And so I reminded my son that mommy lives without her mom and dad. And that's painful, and I can understand how someone would feel when they lose their parents. And I too was overcome with sadness. I also thought about that, Jack. My son's name. I also told him, I thought about that too, Jack. If this great love within my parents is not here no more, boy, it really put me down and out for a couple of seasons. It really made me sad. And I said to my son, I said, Jackson, you know that your dad's parents are both truly dead. And that's true. My ex lost his parents when he was young, back to back, and for different reasons. So I reminded my son right there in this midnight hallway moment that I have parents that are spiritually and emotionally dead, and that I chose to keep loving, to keep going, and that his own father has parents that are dead and not here, and how his daddy chose to keep loving and keep going. And I reminded my son at that midnight hour that we shouldn't define ourselves by the way that love leaves our lives. We should define ourselves by the fact that we give love into our lives. And at that moment, I was hugging and embraced with my son, and I said, you haven't lost either one. We're still here for you. Be blessed in that. And as I was hugging him, I said, if I would have given, I said this in his ear, I said, if I would have given up back then because of all the love that left me, and I would have given up, I wouldn't be here to love you right now. And I am his mom. I'm his wellspring of love that's evergreen. That's what moms are. They're especially to an 8 and 9-year-old boy, like we are the women, and we're the girl we're his girl Friday. So I know how much my son still tilts his head to kiss me. It's so adorable. So at a young age, boys are just enamored by their mothers, and I've got a little boy who's still enamored by his mom, and I love that. He loves me. And so as I held Jackson and told him this very thing, if I would have given up, if your daddy would have given up back when things were leaving us, and we wouldn't be here. For one, we wouldn't have created you, and two, we wouldn't have been here to love you now. And look how much love you're getting from us. And he backed up for me and smiled, because it is the love of my ex-husband and myself, his mother and father, that are really balancing and fruiting in this little boy's life. And had we given up by all the love that didn't happen for us, we wouldn't be here to love for the love that is happening to us, from us, through us, all day long. Amen. And so I just, my 8-year-old, 9-year-old got a lesson with that. So with all that, the hug ended with a cheeky little grin, and okay, Mom, and he just, takes that life knowledge back down the hallway. But that's also what conscious parenting looks like, and how you raise conscious kids. You talk about it.